Hello everybody, this is Nick speaking. Welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster in Desert Valley. Today we are back for episode number 3, and as you can see, we kind of have a new little building over here for tickets. I kind of like this little building, so I kind of did kind of like a little area where you can come over here, get your tickets before you enter the park, because it was kind of one of those things that was needed, and well, I kind of thought it made sense to put it kind of down here next to the entrance. It's, fairly close, and, this area up here I think is mostly just going to be ignored at this point. Probably try to hide this thing at some point because it's an eyesore, but, that's beside the point. So we got this nice little area down here that we have as kind of the true park entrance down here, and I really like how this building I was able to integrate so well into the whole starting area here and make it just kind of fit in to the side of the hill and make sure everything looks like it belongs here. So anyways, this episode, we are probably going to head back down over this way because, I kind of, while I like this area back here is kind of like our little nice seating area for our tables and chairs and all of that, we do need to kind of expand this sort of like, I guess I'd call it sort of like a shopping center down here at the beginning of the park here. So yeah, I kind of feel like we need to come in and add a few more buildings just then rather than these two here, maybe integrate a little bit more on this side with like the different cliff walls and maybe make this like do some more overhangs and that kind of stuff. Do some do like just some interesting sort of buildings in here. So that's kind of where I am with this one. And I think that's what's going to go on this episode. So I think we're going to start off by doing a little bit of building on camera this time around. We do have a lot of these different kinds of, I think that's interesting that there's a custom here. Yes, we got the ticket booth park entrance gates. Yeah, so it might be like an interesting idea to like maybe add like a few of these different kinds of facilities into this front area here. Though I'm more thinking, well, maybe like a bathroom back over here because we will need one of those somewhere. And I kind of wish there was a way to make sure this stayed on the grid, but as you can see, it's kind of hard to make it really conform to the grid over here. And yeah, so it's one of those things that we kind of just have to deal with, and kind of almost think this should go a little bit back here. Maybe make it kind of like you have to enter a building to get to it, which actually I think seems like a fair idea. So I'll kind of do this back into the hill back here. And that kind of gives us a little bit more flexibility to do other stuff with it. So now walls for this. I'm thinking we'll kind of do more like the wooden style stuff over here again. Maybe do a little bit more of a Western theme on this building here. I mean, yeah, of course the entire park's Western theme, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so let's see, not you. Kind of thinking, yeah, that wall looks kind of like that would be a good one for a bathroom building here, and we'll just kind of maybe make this building stretch out a little bit and do some of that. Because, yeah, we do want to make it look like this building is here to be a bathroom, and it's here specifically for that reason. So, yeah, just want to, make sure these details come in as they're needed and not do anything else with them. So, and then I almost think, like, even maybe bring, like, a second entrance forward here. Maybe this can be, like, a little, like, almost kind of area where before you get into the bathroom itself to kind of set this a little bit apart, and that works out pretty well. It does make this kind of a flattish building, but again, I mean, with this kind of style we're going for, a flattish building is actually kind of not unheard of. So it does work in the theme with and everything else too. So as far as the second floor here, I'm almost thinking maybe maybe a stucco. Uh, See, but I mean, even with this kind of building, they're not really ones that would have that sort of thing. They're more like would like have something like this kind of stuff. You know, maybe like just a different, maybe more would be more wood really. Is what this building would be. So I'm almost thinking that the wood makes more sense and to just bring this up a second floor. But again, all I'm doing is making a giant wooden box at this point right now. Which, I mean, you know, for some reason, just kind of having a giant wooden box makes sense and for this area here. And there we go. And actually that box seems a little big. I think I'm going to trim the box down a little bit on both sides here. Because, yeah, I'm thinking if we make this a little bit smaller, because generally these buildings are like, if you look at like Western themed stuff, it's generally kind of like a small building, but they're very deep, or what usually goes on with them. So, I don't know, maybe this will be the better look for it. And even something like that. And then you can do something like maybe say, now we can do kind of the flattish thing up here at the top. Make sure that fits in and get this building like ready to go here. So yeah, I mean, it's not really the biggest thing, but it does make everything fit together. And is that a gap there? Yeah, that is a gap there. Okay, so that needs to be taken care of. Then you can come in, make maybe in the front here, do a little bit of a different detail, add some extra character to the building like that. And we'll get a little bit of this going on in the middle here. And then, yeah, and then all we're doing is adding a little bit of character to the building. For the roof, we'll kind of do kind of a flattish roof in here. Actually, I think we will do a flat roof because, again, the flat one makes the most sense at this point. And yeah, at this point, then it's just, finding the one that actually will fit in here without going over the edge. Because right now it seems like they're all going over the edge. I don't want it to go over the edge. See, now if I rotate it, it still does the same thing, still does it. Doesn't matter what side it is, it always does it. So maybe just doing this would be fine. And then we don't have to worry about, we get this kind of flat line here, and that makes everything integrate. But then again, I mean, yeah, because it's really only noticeable when you get to the trim over on the sides here. And then could also maybe go do this like down here for a little bit further. That gives us a little bit of a detail here too. That we can work with and do different things. And it doesn't want to cooperate today, apparently. Yep, and then that detail kind of just goes into the building here. And then we go like that. For here on this side, we do it too because, we need to make everything match. But this side of the building doesn't do it. See, it's weird like that. It's like I don't get why it does it sometimes and other times it doesn't, really. If anybody can let me know why that is a thing, I will probably understand it better, but then again, probably not, because it doesn't really make sense the way it works now. So yeah, I think at this point too, maybe like doing something like even just something cool like that would be kind of like an interesting extra detail on it. Then again, I don't know, that's not really like something that would be very common on a building like this, so maybe just a weather vane here in the middle at the top. That would look kind of cool. And we'll kind of take this and do something like that, bring it into the building itself. And yeah, there just got kind of a little weather vane here. Give us a little detail to it. And then it kind of makes it also look like this, we know this is the top of the building, so that does a lot there. Just doing little details like that add a lot to this kind of thing. And then, of course, we need to decorate the front. I'd like to do like an awning sort of thing, but obviously these kind of things won't work. Now, much as that detail looks like it would fit, yeah, these look like they'll fit, but they don't really work because that's not what we're trying to do with it. That's way too big. There we go. Maybe this one. Tile awning. Let's see, can I position this correctly to make it look like it fits over this? Yeah, it kind of works there. Gives a little bit of definition of this down here at the bottom, though, that I wasn't really expecting, but it works. And it kind of gives the detail we're wanting. So, yeah. Kind of think that helps, and then we just bring in some windows and do that kind of thing. So, I think I'm going to do a little bit of the actual exterior for this building, and I'll be back. All right, so I'm back, and the restrooms the building is done anyways. So I didn't do the sides here just because there's going to be other buildings that kind of push up right against it as the plan anyways, just because, we're kind of trying to make this look kind of like a little town square sort of thing, I guess, a little western town square. And speaking of which, I did do a little bit of path work as well off camera here, make this go a little bit straighter over here, and same with over here to make this kind of feel a little bit more like it's meant to be this way rather than just everything's kind of in place here. So yeah. The next building I want to do will be this kind of corner building over here. I'm kind of thinking I want to do like a saloon type thing. But of course, for me to do this one's going to take a little bit more effort here. So I think, at least for this one, it's probably going to be a little bit easier to, do some of these deck angle things. And basically, we're going to have kind of an angle here that determines the front of this building. And yeah, that's going to be a little bit harder to get that detail in, which is why I think this is probably a good time to go for maybe a little bit of a time lapse here. So we'll do that and be back. All right, so we are back, and I hope you enjoyed the little bit of the time lapse we had there. But yeah, I kind of did a little bit of work over here off camera as well. It's actually a little bit after the last few clips were recorded, and figured out what I ended up doing with the roof up here, and kind of put this little divider, put this little connector on this side, and the terrain over here on this side to kind of fill in this gap, and also ended up updating the building over here for the chief beef using the wooden walls for the bottom part, and I think that helped bring this building together as well, because it definitely looked like it was a little bit out of place here. I think the information building is awesome the way it is, so that one I will keep on the other hand, and then it makes it look like all of this just fits in a lot better together than it does now. So, um, that's kind of the idea why I wanted to do it that way. I also ended up adding a few lights around here on the coffee slash saloon thing, because it is doubling as both a saloon style building and a coffee shop. Got all the lights over here too, obviously, and the table area back here. I did do a little bit of changing to the structure of the building here too, where this is now indented rather than going outward, and that made it make this roof a little bit quicker and easier, and that one is actually a little bit off. Let me fix that. There we go, that should look much better. It does. Yeah, so there is that kind of thing too, where I want to make it look like these roofs are just hanging a little bit past where the end of the building is rather than pushed up right to it. So I added in extra like roof segments here so I could accomplish that. And then we did a little bit of extra interior work here too, mainly the beams going across, which I think looks kind of cool. I put a little bit of a plant thing here, so it's kind of like this. Okay, here's the counter. You walk up to it, you grab your coffee, you go over here, you sit down and drink your coffee, and then you go on your merry way, because, that's how things work around here. And I think I also added these little, like, flower things to here, and oh yeah, this little, like, back here, the brick wall, I think, because it's kind of meant to be more of a hidden wall, and, well, it adds a different texture over here to the side. And then over here will probably be some sort of ride. I don't know what I'm going to do quite yet. Probably one of the smaller ones that would fit in well over here. This one definitely not over in this area. Let's see, is there anything that would make a lot of sense over here? I mean, if nothing else, I was thinking maybe the merry-go-round. Then we build like a kind of back wall to it, and maybe bring some terrain up around it or something like that. That could be kind of cool here. Put all of that together, and we could put like a merry-go-round kind of over here in the back corner. Mm, I think that's probably what I'm gonna go for, and then we bring the terrain kind of over it, and bring kind of like walls around the back side of it, and then we make kind of a cool looking sort of structure over here too to house the merry-go-round in, and have the path kind of like over here for the entrance, and then exit can just exit right over here onto the path of course. But yeah, I think next time when we come back, we'll probably tackle that little project over here. Maybe try to add a few more, another building or two over on this side here. I don't know. We'll see. There's also the roller coaster that I want to put over in this area over here. So it's gonna be kind of stretch all the way up here. Probably gonna do like a tunnel through this rock here too, which will be kind of cool. Maybe even like, and there'll probably be one over here too, because I'm thinking the station would actually be kind of cool to put back here on this little ledge. Have like the queue path kind of go along here. That's kind of the thought of what I want to do with it. So anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. Next time when we come back, we'll obviously be doing that work. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.